Lady was singing that yesterday as
No.
she was heading up to space. I doubt it too. Yeah.
No.
So as she says, we are hot and we are cold, back and forth because it's springtime in Indiana, and that is exactly the way we apparently like it. Thanks for waking up with us here at 5 o'clock on your Tuesday morning. I'm Julia, along with Julia and Chuck here this morning. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Coming back with a little bit of a cool down for us, but at least things are still a little springy.
And it is April after. I mean, we got up to 74 degrees yesterday, which is one of the warmer days we've had all year.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like it to me. And today, not only is it going to be cooler, but real windy. And this is what I was trying to tell you about 5 minutes ago. And I messed it up. So here we go. This is current wind gusts. Now, let me give you some perspective as to what you're looking at here. This is Indianapolis. 31 mile per hour winds right now gusting at Indianapolis International Airport. Over in Mattoon, Illinois, 36 miles per hour. And you can see the red. That's indicative of more persistent, longer lasting wind gusts, and that's going to happen here today. In fact, right now in Indianapolis, let's see if I can get this to work. Still not working. We're still having some problems. I'm going to just advance this off camera here so you guys can see this. But as we go through the day today, these winds will continue to howl. Here you see 25 mile per hour winds in Muncie, 24 in Richmond. And look at these projected gusts later on today, 30, 35, maybe even 38 mile per hour wind gusts. So hang in there. This is a look at our radar. That rain that was around Hartford City and Muncie this morning has moved out, but we still could see a shower later on. It's only 49 degrees out there right now, 51 in Bloomington. And with those wind gusts with us all day long, notice how, yes, we could see a sweeping shower, especially northeast, but we're going to hang in the 40s till about 10 o'clock today, and then eventually a high of 54. Frost advisory tonight. I'll touch on that in just a bit. But how's traffic this morning, Lindsay?
Well, we got some new closures, and this is paving operation season, it seems. And I'm going to take you up to the Lapel area where we've got a new closure. This was scheduled to start yesterday, and it does look like, according to our traffic maps, that indeed started yesterday. We're going to see this ongoing on State Road 13 in between 69 and Lapel. So this entire stretch is going to get repaved in segments. The first segment will be in between 69 and State Road 38. So while that stretch is closed, the recommended alternate route would be to continue up 69, utilize this exit right here, take State Road 38, and then you can continue north on 13. That phase is expected to last at least for the next week, and then they'll move on to the next section. This is what it looks like right now on 69 up at State Road 13. Pretty quiet traffic there. Again, just keep that in mind for your travel plans. And then this is going to be your exit you'll utilize up the I-69 corridor there at 38th Street. We'll keep you posted if we see any big issues pop up and could impact your morning drive.
Appreciate that, Lindsay. Thank you. Well, we want to give you a look at the aftermath of a police chase. You can just see this crumbled car upside down here. It ended with the death of one person on the east side.
Well, this morning we now know that one of the people that was in that car being chased died at the scene. State police tell us that innocent people were also involved in this crash. Let's get to Matthew Foltz, who was live this morning near Washington and Midhoff, and that's where that crash happened. With the latest updates from police, it is tough to see some of that video, Matthew.
Yeah, it was certainly tough, Julia, and this is actually where that that deadly crash came to an end. This is along Midhofer, just next to off of Washington Street here on the Indy's east side. And state police tell us that this crash happened after a nearly 41-mile chase from Henry County. State police now calling this a tragic and heartbreaking scene. Now, I want you to take a look at your screen. This is some of the NDOT video that we saw last night, capturing the moments of that police pursuit along I-70 last night. State police telling us that the chase started near Newcastle around 9:15 after deputies tried to pull the car over. And about 30 minutes later, police say this is what the scene looked like before they were about to call off the chase. The suspects crashed into two cars near this intersection of Washington and Midhofer. We're told that the SUV that is flipped over on your screen is the suspect's car. State police tell us that 4 people were inside that car. 1 man was ejected and was pronounced dead at the scene. 3 others were taken to the hospital. State police say that the 2 drivers and the vehicles that the suspect's car hit were checked out on scene and are said to be okay. Now, police also tell us that they found multiple guns and rifles at the scene that they believe may have been in the suspect's car during the time of the crash. And this morning, again, we're still working to learn an update on 2 of those 3 victims, or the victims in that suspect's car, I should say, that were transported to the hospital. Of course, as soon as we get an update on their conditions, we'll be sure to pass that along to you. But Jalea and Julia, still a lot of questions into this investigation as police continue to find out what exactly led up to this pursuit.
Yeah, certainly with what they found in the car after as well. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that.
Some more other stories this morning at the State House. A contentious bill on property taxes is now set to become a law.
Yeah, so you've heard us, of course, talk the last couple of weeks about Senate Bill 1. Alex Almanza watched as lawmakers passed it into law last night.
Hey there, good morning. We now have reaction from Governor Mike Braun following the overnight passage of Senate Bill 1. The governor calls it, quote, historic property tax relief, saying the bill will cut taxes for most Hoosier homeowners, farmers, and businesses, while also making the system fairer, more transparent, and easier to understand. Now, this comes after a marathon session that stretched into the early morning hours. The Indiana Senate passed the bill just after midnight on a 27-22 vote. Senate Bill 1 has drawn strong criticism from educators across the state. It reduces property tax revenue for public schools and requires them to share local referendum dollars with certain charter schools.
Taxpayers have been demanding relief. Since July, we've been talking about relief. We all are taxpayers in here. Most all of us have seen increases in our residential homestead taxes. So it's no surprise, steep increases in residential homestead taxes. So it's no surprise that taxpayers are demanding relief.
One amendment also dissolves the Union School Corporation by 2027, a move that some teachers fear could set a precedent for small districts statewide.
Well, now we continue to focus on the budget, and that is where we need to make sure that we're really making all of this right and making all of this whole. Today was our opportunity to offer the second reading amendments, but that's not our last bite at the apple, as we like to say. We're going into conference committees, and there will still be a lot of negotiation that continues to happen on the budget.
Now, Governor Braun says that this bill delivers on a core promise of his freedom and opportunity agenda, and that he looks forward to signing it as soon as it reaches his desk. At the State House, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
And as this all happens, this is Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith, of course, was calling for Governor Braun to actually veto this bill.
Yeah, Beckwith posted on X saying that Hoosiers need a property bill they can all understand, and that Senate Bill 1 is just too convoluted.
Governor Braun has not yet responded to these comments by the Lieutenant Governor.
Well, as we mentioned, and we've mentioned a lot recently, this bill was hotly debated.
Especially among teachers and those who work in education here. Hundreds of educators were pushing back yesterday, in fact, against Senate Bill 1.
Because it's important that they see that our voices matter, that this is democracy.
So this was the Indiana State Teachers Association's day of action. Their main concern was really getting enough money to schools, since this bill will reduce the amount of money schools get and also mean that public schools have to share their money with charter schools.
There were so many teachers at the State House that some districts had to move to e-learning. In fact, a Republican state representative says that he filed an amendment to a bill that would prohibit schools from switching to e-learning days to let teachers attend protests like the one yesterday. And despite this bill passing, there's still a lot to come with how this will play out eventually and the other impacts that it could have on Hoosiers.
So we do have a lot more information for you if you'd like to catch up online. We'll also keep monitoring reaction to this bill's impact on air and online.
Well, in Marion, a teenager is now pleading guilty to murder. Zayden Guy admitted in court yesterday that he shot and killed a man while stealing his gun. And he was just 13 when he killed 24-year-old Byron Dennis Jr. inside of a gas station March 2023. In court, Guy said that he saw a gun in Dennis's pocket and then went into the store intending to take it.
This is a systemic problem that we are having. We are seeing younger and younger people committing violent acts, violent crimes, taking lives of others. And a community can't stand for it. We cannot have young people going out and shooting and killing other people. And we will take a hard stand on that.
A guy pleaded guilty to murder, robbery, unlawfully carrying a handgun, and theft. He'll be sentenced in this case in May.
And another case involving a teenager. A 15-year-old faces charges for a deadly shooting on Indy's northwest side. This happened on April 6 near West 27th and North Harding Streets. Officers say they found 3 people shot. One of them was already dead at the scene. Another died in the hospital. That teen suspect is charged with 2 counts of murder, battery with a deadly weapon, and dangerous possession of a firearm. Prosecutors have filed a request to charge that 15-year-old as an adult.